Hey,
Hey, hey,
everybody, what's going on? It's Gamer Dan back with another jam. What's happening, my man?
uh, still a little bit. I'm not hungover. I'm still drunk. So,
Oh,
I'm riding that. What was supposed to be a nice, quiet night out with a few friends. We had a few drinks. I head home early, and I just kind of wandered into a game store and a few other bars. And then 4 in the morning, I'm chatting games with this guy I met in another bar, and feeling good. Comfortably drunk, just nicely drunk, as Lister would say.
I gotta say, I envy you, man. That sounds fantastic. Yeah, hopefully I'll get your bearings eventually, but that sounds awesome. I mean, to knock a few back and just kick it with gamers in Japan.
It's
I
true. It's
mean,
fun.
but yeah,
But I still envy you, my friend. You're hitched. That's the dream. Get there one day.
yeah, yeah, man,
But
definitely. Yep.
today's a fun
Today.
one. This is a fun one. I know we last week we talked about Pokemon. We wanted to get the professor in. That's going to happen. We're going to get some more people here to talk about some of the big swings that Nintendo and Pokemon Company are doing. But this week, this is something really fun, and I think you'll like this. We talked a little bit about spicing up our channel. We didn't mention
Mm,
last time that usually we have these pre-video rambles and we talk to each other about what was going on and what we think about the material, and then we record a video, and we only talk about like half of what we originally said. So instead, we're just going straight into it. This is unedited. You're doing it. We're doing it live. We're doing it live. So, but we're going to watch because everyone's foaming at the mouth over Switch 2. We have, well, I haven't, my esteemed colleague here has found a fan-made fake Nintendo Direct, and we haven't watched it. So we're going to go into this blind, and we're going to see how the quality, and we're going to see what the predictions are for the Nintendo Direct, especially the one that is coming out next month. Next month is the big full Switch 2 reveal,
oh
walks
yeah,
through the
bloody hell.
technology. So we've had the reveal, we've seen the console, but it T minus, baby. We are within this last straight couple of weeks now, and then boom, we get all the info. They spill their guts, and we get a good look at some of these new games. Okay, I'm getting excited just talking about it.
Yeah,
But
I'm very excited.
because of
God
that,
dang.
people are excited. People are making speculations, and this dude has made a let's say deep fake there, but no, just a fake trailer, Nintendo Direct. So we're gonna watch that. We're gonna have some fun, and I do think it warrants talking about the state of the world because so much
Mm.
speculation going on around things, so much division politically, and I'm loath to drop names, but in Trump, Zelensky conversation, I think that it warrants talking about misinformation and how not just how political bodies are using it, but more importantly, how AI is changing the media landscape. How
Mhm.
we're not able to fully trust what we see anymore. We couldn't initially, but the landscape is going to get worse before it gets better, I think.
Yeah, yeah, it
But
has to happen.
that's the bad side. That's the serious side. On the other side, fake Nintendo. So let's go for it.
Maybe I should say choose your fighter.
Mm. Oh,
Sorry,
okay. I'm just going to silence myself.
Anyways, speaking of which,
Right.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on this fake trailer then?
Well,
Last
I
30
mean,
seconds.
I I think you know what? As Vegeta would say, I rise to meet the challenge.
Love it.
Yeah, because I personally there's a whole thing about as far as politics are concerned, whatnot. There are people who are stuck in the past and they're resistant to the change. They like things the old way, the way things were done in the past. But the new age of technology is coming with you, like it or not.
Uh,
And the only way forward is through it. You can't if you stay people who just stick their heels in the ground and they don't want things to stay the same. They are advocating to die, in my opinion, because you're going to get run over by this thing. And I think you're better off embracing it and seeing what you can do. What's going to happen, I think, is like we were saying, I think 2 weeks ago when we were talking about Muse,
mhm.
um, I was saying, or maybe we were saying, I can't remember, that one thing that you can't really AI is licensing unless you use forgery and so on. And when it comes to companies saying no, 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 that's fake. This is the real thing. Then you always got that seal. You got the real seal of approval to deal with. Again, unless you start screwing around. If companies get compromised to smithereens and you don't know who's signing what, then that's awful. Hopefully, we don't get to that. But while I think this is why it's funny. It's like almost like we're going through a second industrial revolution. The way people are dealing with starting again with jobs and so on. Sorry, I can't drop that in here. That'd be confusing. I'll leave it to later. What I was trying to say was that you can't get to the AI stage without going through all the ages that we went through before. All the ages, all the industrial era age. Was that?
It'd be
Sorry, forgive me with that.
globalization, industrial age, we had
Yeah,
digital age, and then now we've got the AI age.
yeah. I mean, information and AI is kind of blending. AI is going to be the next thing, yeah, other after the information, if you think about it, in that it's not so much the information you have, it's the who has the monopoly on the information generation, if you will.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's quite apt actually, because it used to be that we had institutions, we had selected bodies of people who were endeavored to bring information to the world. News
mm,
organizations, newspapers, TV channels, companies that gathered resources, hired staff, and went out to get you the information. What was happening in the
mm,
world, it was how you saw it, whether it was, a video, not trailers, but shorts, talkies before the movie. You would go to see a movie,
mm,
and there would be a short about what's going on in the war around the world. Then it
mm,
became news at home when the TV became prevalent, and everyone started buying televisions. Well, now we had news sorts coming straight to your home. And these institutions were trusted because they were how we saw the world. They curated the
mm,
information, which meant that they had a not insignificant measure of control over people because they decided what you could see, what was
mm,
being seen, and they could sway public opinion. Then, of course, the digital age happened and communication became everywhere. Everything and everything
mm,
could talk to each other. I mean, the idea of being able to talk to someone over great distances without going to, say, a telegraph office or a post office or using a service, science fiction. But it's now reality. And with the fact that anyone and everyone can communicate, we've got 1,000, we've got 100,000, we've got 1,000,000, we've got 100 million, we've got 1 billion soapboxes.
mm.
It just takes someone standing on one and yelling. Now, whether anyone listens, it's up to them. But if they're saying what you want to hear, that's,
That's the thing.
gets a lot of attention. And
Mm,
it has swayed political alliances. It has broken old institutions. I mean, everyone says print is dead. Like, I don't want it to be true, but yeah, it kind of is. The way the way that those companies worked doesn't work anymore because they brought us the news, but I can find the news. I can't, I haven't got anyone to put it in context, anyone who's got a vested
uh-huh.
interest in bringing me accurate information. I just got a deluge of information at finding it in the problem anymore. It's aggregating it. It's discerning fact from fiction. It's finding
Mm,
opinion and trying to discern evidence-based facts from that. So yeah, I think I have some thoughts about how the world's going to turn out because of it. But we'll come to that when as we go. Um,
mm,
right, jumping straight in, we've talked some heady topics to warm us
yeah.
up, which are heavy lifting. But let's get to the fun stuff. Right,
Yeah.
this is by Fox 13 Nintendo, who only has 1,000, just over 1,000 subscribers. So this is
Uh,
like a small time guy. But
mm,
I'm going to share the screens, sound, Nintendo Direct. Here we go. Oh, before we
all
start,
right.
we are thinking
Yeah.
about doing a Japanese word of the day. So every video we're going to
Uh-huh.
introduce a word of the day, and the word of the day today is uso. Uso.
So, uh-huh.
Uso. Just like in One Piece, Usopp. Um, it means to lie.
Mm,
It's a lie if you are, and then uso to be used with a person or an object. That's a lie, or you're a liar.
yeah, is
Uso.
it really? It's so scary, which means liar, yeah.
Yes, Usotsuki would be the liar, would be the person. Good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right,
let's
beautiful.
look what this lie has got for us.
Yes, AI lies. Goosebumps.
True. Is it a lie? Is it a lie?
That's a good
Yeah.
question.
Okay, yeah, we'll come back to that. I'm eager to get started. All right, let's do this thing.
Very pretty as usual.
It's
I
a
love
little bit
how
fast,
it.
isn't it? They're
I,
very,
I
very
love,
punchy. They don't feel
hmm. I
forced.
love how Nintendo makes Japan. One thing I'll say about Japan, what I love about their music and their pop culture is how they make something that looks. Some people say they make what should be sad look nice or sound nice. Music, you can use a minor chord and make it look sound jolly. They can look make it look an image that looks quite sterile. If you look at this, the way Nintendo is super white and super clean, but it looks joyful and full of life. To me, that's ironic. If you see something like that, you may think, "Oh, it's clinical. I'm in a padded cell." But to me,
Yeah,
it looks happy.
I like the way that the transitions into it. It starts off with some minor chords and but it pieces itself together. I personally think, yeah, it could be quite a sterile image, but they've added this beautiful shadow
Mm,
on everything just to add like a sense of depth to it. Like it's a real thing, real place.
exactly.
There's a
Yeah.
tangibility
Super
to it.
touch.
If it wasn't there, if it was
Mm,
just Nintendo Direct, it would feel a little bit stale. But it
mm.
is what it is.
Oh,
Right. Well,
so it's sterile.
yes. Right. How are we going to do this? I think what we should, because we haven't seen this, we should
Mhm.
watch each section in its entirety and then afterwards have thoughts. Because
Mm.
knowing me and my experience, I'm just going to be stopping and starting every 2 seconds, going, "That's a thing. That's a thing. That's a thing." No, 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 no. Let's look at the sections and then we'll judge them as we go.
Sounds good. Let's do
Fair?
it.
That's fair.
Hmm.
Right. Here we go. Here we go.
Handmade.
And not Nintendo, clearly, but not bad.
Yeah. Goodness gracious. That's clever. Mm.
I like that.
I was thinking, if this were a game, what is normally where's Mario? But at this point,
Ah,
I'm thinking this is showing off what they can do with AI.
yeah, I think it's showing off, the environment, the 3D renderings, design.
Chain jump. That's impressive. I gotta say, in that it looks plausible.
Well, I like that it feels like it's been devastated. It's a land that's either in decline or
Mm.
being devastated because it's flooded and it's created all these little
Oh yeah, my God.
outcroppings.
Oh, you're right. Oh no, what the hell's
Like
happened to
everything's kind
it?
of silted. But
This is a good point.
it's yeah. Whoa, that's jarring.
Wow. Jeez Louise, that is very. This is very impressive.
Oh wow.
Okay. Given that we got a 10-minute thing before we kick off. Okay.
Okay. So I don't like the transition between the soft artwork from the original devastated lands, that islands apparently,
Hmm.
and to this much harsher, much more, I was going to say photorealistic, but this much more stark look of
Hmm.
Mario. And I did notice that can, he holds up the letter from Peach, and
Hmm.
it's got the picture of a paper Peach, which canonically Mario and Luigi met the paper versions of themselves in, Luigi and Mario and the Sticker Star.
I
So that's like,
see.
why is that Peach? That's canonically a different entity. We know that she's not your Peach. Fine, doesn't matter. But it looks like it's a the world's been devastated. It's created separate outcroppings, and it's basically like an open world version of single self-contained open world of the Mushroom Kingdom, but it's treating it like Mario Galaxy. Like you have
Yeah.
to go from island to island to achieve objectives. I
Hmm.
think
You know what's funny about this? I feel it. You got the sense. I get the sense of it's really screams of fan made project, even though it's a good effort. I feel
I think
it's got a
the
few drawings.
first vivid beautiful. It looks good,
Yeah.
looks solid.
Yeah. For real. The thing is, I feel like you got the you know, I used to feel this way about certain artists. Like I guess sometimes they would release an album and I'd wonder what they'd bring next. And I base my speculation on what they've done up to that point,
Sure.
just looking in the past. But by the time they release it, it's something completely different. At the same time, when I look at it, I'd say, oh, that makes perfect sense because you're considering something else. Here, this looks like you said, Mario Galaxy, and it's taken some elements from other Mario games and blended them together. When Mario, when Nintendo produced real Mario games, they tend to be a bit more of a new concept altogether. But maybe I'm wrong.
Hideo
What do you?
Miyamoto.
That's the thing. So, what do you? How plausible do you think it would be as a something similar as to what will actually come to fruition?
Well, it's funny you mention that because a lot of people are speculating that the next big Mario, the next big like tentpole Mario game, not a party, not a kart, but an actual Super Mario game, is going to be open world. They've been flirting with it for a while now. I mean, basically, Odyssey is a giant open world, but they had a transition between parts of the world. All you have to do is just have like you jump off the edge of one map and boom, you're in the next map. That's it.
Hmm.
We've got it. The technology is more than advanced enough now to do that. So, but this premise is finding a way to artificially, separate the worlds out, to create locations you have to traverse to. And I don't dislike that. I think that
Hmm.
yes, you're quite right. Shigeru Miyamoto has a kind of a boner for making new tech and new ways of playing. That's why every Mario game has some new feature, has some new hook. Are you in El Delfino with a water gun? It's Mario World with a cape that you could fly, and
Hmm.
Yoshi. You know, um,
Exactly.
Odyssey was incredible, but I did think that Galaxy was absolutely a step in the right direction. That the just on the Wii and the physics of it was so clever, the levels were so interesting. Leaning into that heritage of using the environment of the disparate territories is a good idea. I've no doubt that the next game is going to be big open world, but I've heard better arguments made that all they're going to do is reintroduce older upgrades. Oh, the frog suit, the Tanuki suit, ways of
Hmm.
traversing the environment. Just give you a big open environment and then go like, how are you going to get around? Well, you've got to find the frog suit to swim down under and find the underwater part, and then you've got to find the Tanuki suit to fly up and reach the higher places. I don't know whether they're going to do that because honestly, where you parasitoid take over someone's brain like a some demonic
Yes.
creature was
Yeah,
really
just
out
age into
there,
this.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's yeah, I thought it was well done. And I like this idea that he's got to go across the islands. I absolutely
Hmm.
believe it's going to do. I didn't like the artwork in the second half, but the beginning, the kind of, I think it's Blender artwork,
Hmm.
that's nice. I thought,
Yeah.
it looks good.
Now when I look at the beginning, it looks like that is the map view, which is like if you jump on that island, it takes you into the world. So that's not the
Yeah,
actual level. The
that
level
might
if
be.
it's going on. So when you play the level, it's a lot more detailed.
That's actually really apt. I think that's very true. It's a
Mm,
throwback of the older days, and we tend to see them more in 2D games rather than 3D. And the 3D
mm,
model of the second Mario's a bit more, it leans into the new 3D Mario. But the 2Ds, yes, will have an overworld, and then you go into the level, which has its own territory.
right.
So if this was
That's
overworld,
interesting.
yeah, I'd be sold on that.
Mm, this is
But then when it
yeah.
transitions to this, you're like, oof,
What the hell's going on? Yeah, yeah. But so this is what's going on. The every fan made Mario looks hyper detailed like this.
I
Um,
know, they really do.
yeah, and it's like if you even if you play, it's just one thing to tell me off about Street Fighter 5, let alone 6. is how super shiny. In fact, even the Switch, to be honest, the Mario Kart, how tiny everything is. The coins are gleaming, glistening. It's like, oh my word. But it's
Mm.
I think just want to show what they can do with the technology. So it's like
Yeah, it's clear. I
you
mean,
will
obviously,
suffer.
this feels like it's going to be indicative of the whole video. It's going to be like
Mm,
pieces of it are just stolen from other places. It's going to be a little bit mishmashed. But let's have a look. Right,
mm.
we are going to need to put a pause
Yeah,
here because
yeah.
we're on the cheap version of Zoom. So we'll be back with the next section, part two. We will go further into detail. We will watch more of this video and see what they've got to show for us.
All right. So
All
we'll catch you in a
right,
moment, people.
in the moon.
Peace. All right. Catch you soon. 3, 2, 1, go.